Hello guys, this is point 2, so yeah, let's get started with what if Naruto was in high school DxD. Don't worry about me, Surzek-sama.
Your knife.
I had made a vow to never lose ever again. I will win in any situation,
No.
replied Naruto,
Finish
looking
what you
serious
started.
like never before. Those eyes, Surzek had first seen when he picked him up in that accident of 8 years ago. The day Surzek has found out that a new unique being was created in order to overthrow the 4 great Maos, Gregorian gods. The day he found out the existence of Ultimate. After the congratulations party, Naruto returned to the occult club to rest. The others have gone their way as well. Naruto turned his head aside to the right and felt that his head has touched something soft. The feeling is really pleasant, so Naruto decided to dive his head further. But the moment he did that, he heard a soft moan of female voice. Hearing that moan, Naruto could only guess one possibility. Slowly he opened his eyes, and indeed his Oju-sama is lying next to him with closed eyes, naked. Naruto blinked for a minute, then sighed and rubbed his temples. I should have known that old habits die hard, Naruto muttered to himself, still looking at the sleeping Rias. She has a smile on her face. Actually, every time she slept with Naruto, she had that smile. Naruto stared at his Oju-sama longingly for a while, and admit that she is indeed very beautiful. However, he has lost such feelings as lust, shame, even love. So even if Oju-sama will be interested in him, he won't be able to reply her feelings. Naruto sighed, and then looked at the ceiling. He started to recall how he had obtained his Sharingan. And those memories sure are not pleasant at all. Flashback 11 years ago. Naruto is a 5-year-old orphan. He has a small body for a boy his age and really thin. He never knew who his parents were. As far as he remembered, he always lived in this orphanage. Naruto is a fairly intelligent boy for the boy of his age. And that's why he is always lonely, because the kids his age couldn't understand what he says.
Boy.
Right now they were in the park and enjoyed themselves. Well, the kids enjoyed themselves, but Naruto is alone again.
Boy.
He just looked at how the other kids play silently. Suddenly he felt someone tapped his shoulder. Do he turn his head back? He was immediately captivated by the innocence and beauty of the girl in front of him. The girl has jet black hair and shining blue eyes like him. She wears a white dress that suits her perfectly. You are Naruto-kun, right? Why did you not play with us? Wondered the girl cutely. Because they told me I am weird by saying those confused things. They think I am weird and don't want to play with me, Naruto replied with a sigh. Oh, was the girl's reply. Then she remembered that she didn't tell him her name. I am Kagayaki-yum, by the way. Ahem, I am Naruto. Just Naruto, don't know a family name. Naruto introduced himself to the girl. Nice to meet you, Naruto-kun. If you don't mind, I will be your friends from now on, exclaimed Yum with that cute voice.
Still can't get the door.
Naruto blinked his eyes in surprise. You want to be my friend? Yuma nodded her head in affirmative. But nobody want to be friends with me because I am weird. Well, I think you are just more advanced than the others. They couldn't keep up with your thoughts and therefore think you are weird, retort Yum. Naruto smiled widely as he got his first friend. And so as time passed, Naruto and Yuma became best friends. But as the time passed, Yum also realized that she is falling in love with Naruto. Of course, Naruto was just a child and couldn't notice that. Even Yum herself couldn't understand what is going with herself. Everything was fine, until they appeared. The Tengus from Yukai faction. To be more precise, a Karasa Tengu by the name of Yatagarasu and Konoha Tengu by the name of Sajobo. Those two came and began to create chaos in the city. They killed lots of people and sealed their souls in some container. Those two were demons. They killed everyone in the city and spared only Naruto. When they realized that Naruto could become an ultimate, the goal that they are striving to achieve. Yatagarasu and Sajobo goal is to create ultimate. A being with powers that surpassed even God, and all those powers were concentrated all in a pair of eyes. By injecting the blood to Naruto's veins, they managed to mutate his eyes, and thus creating Sharingan. But Yatagarasu is very power hungry. He managed to find out a way to evolve Sharingan even more. One day, he managed to trick Sajobo and sealed him away in Naruto's Sharingan. Naruto's Sharingan began to evolve and transform to a pinwheel. Yatagarasu called it Manjikyu Sharingan. And the final step in creating the ultimate. That's to consume all 5,000 souls in Manjikyu Sharingan to gain a new powers, 1,000 souls for each power.
Inside, boy.
Where did Yatagarasu gain so many souls? He collected the souls in the 3 faction wars, of course, but nobody actually knew about that. Naruto's Manjikyu powers are Tsukuyomi, the power of absolute illusion; Amaterasu, the flame of eternity; Kamui, the power to distort space and even jump to his dimension; Kotoamatsukami, power of absolute control; and Susanoo, the embodiment of Sajobo power. But Susanoo has manifested before the consumption of souls, because that is the embodiment of Sajobo's power. By the time he consumed all 5,000 souls, Naruto is no longer a human, but an ultimate, a being with powers surpassed even gods. By the way, Naruto has managed to combine some of his powers into one and accidentally invent something he called Eternal Manjikyu Sharingan. It's basically took one form of his eyes to the base and infused the other form in it. Not even 4 great mouths could compare to him. But in order for Naruto remain sane, he himself had got rid of emotions that could possibly drive him insane. With such powers, Naruto completely wiped his creator to the floor, with only fraction of his powers. But Yatagarasu was also cautious. He had infused a command in Naruto's head that he won't be able to kill him no matter what. After Yatagarasu managed to escape, the newly promoted 4 great mouths have appeared. They were of course shocked by seeing all the destructions. And only seeing an 8-year-old boy with a calm look on his face when he looked at them. That's when Naruto met all 4 great mouths for the first time. End flashback. Naruto shook his head to shake off those memories. How the heck he is still sane after that? Even he didn't know how. But Ajuka wants to keep the secret of Naruto being an ultimate, create a special piece of night for him. The story of how he met his king for the first time. That's the story for another time. Naruto then looked aside and realized that Rias has moved closer to him. Since when did she manage that? Then suddenly Rias climbed atop on his body and snuggled to his chest. A smile radiated from her lips. Naruto's sweat dropped, seeing his king's actions. But he didn't stop her, of course. The least he need is to disturb his Ojusama's sleep. So Naruto just decided to close his eyes with a soft smile and fall to sleep again.
Care to try again?
Next day,
You talk too
a
much.
cult research club. Naruto groggily opened his eyes and already see his Ojusama's face that was really close to hers.
You won't talk?
She has a mischievous grin with her blue-green eyes.
You got stashed in
She is
that
still lying atop of him, by the way. Well, how is your sleep, Naruto? Did my presence made your sleep more pleasant? Rias asked seductively and blinking her eyes suggestively. On the contrary, Ojusama,
Fine.
your presence here made me harder to fall asleep. Deadpan Naruto looked lazily to her eyes. Oh? Is that because you are dreaming about me? Rias teased and pressed her breasts further at Naruto's chest to provoke him. No, Ojusama. It's because you are stealing my space on my bed, retort Naruto with deadpan eyes. Ma, why won't you ever blush? Rias whined like a spoiled little girl that didn't get what she want and pouted. Naruto's sweat dropped and remarked, "Oh, so that's what you are trying to achieve, Ojusama?" Rias sat up straight, which revealed her voluptuous naked body behind the covers. She huffed and then squeezed her breasts in front of Naruto. I don't understand. How could you not blush at all when you seeing this? Rias implied to her perfect bouncing ball of flesh. Perhaps you are not even straight. I take offense to that comment. You know, Naruto shot back when his Ojusama implied that he is gay. That's the last thing, he wants her to think about him. Then prove to me, retort Rias with a devious smirk. Ha! Prove what? Naruto suspected what she implied, but still want to know for sure. Rias rolled her eyes at his question and stated, Duh. Prove to me that you are straight, of course. Naruto still decided to play an innocent card and pretend to ask. And how? Rias has enough and was about to pounce at Naruto. But that moment a door opened and some people walked in. Those people were none other than her peerage. Issei was the first one to react, of course. He appeared in a flash in front of Naruto and pointed accusingly at him. How dare you steal Bucho's virginity from me, Naruto? That should have been me. And I really think that we could become friends. Naruto sighed out tiredly and then looked deadpan at Issei. Look here, harem-obsessed idiot. Nothing happened between me and Ojusama. She just sneaks into my bed like before, that's all. Really? Issei asked hopefully. Naruto decided to not answer the idiot's question. Yada. I still have a chance to take Bucho's virginity. Issei pumped his fist in the air and cried tears of relief. But Rias just pouted when Naruto explained the situation between them. She would have thought at least this situation will make her progress, but no. Issei-senpai, you're the worst, replied Kaneko in monotone voice, which caused Issei to cry again. Era, but Bucho sure is naughty again. First Issei-kun, now you switch to Naruto-kun. That's too greedy, you know, Akino joked with an amused smile. But her eyes still often glance at Naruto's muscular figure that can be seen even through his t-shirt. Naruto wears a simple t-shirt with yin-yang design on it. And of course what Akino saw she liked very much. Rias noticed how Akino is checking her personal servant and gave her a light glare. Somehow Naruto feels that things will become even more troublesome now. He should have stayed in the underworld. No, actually there is not safe as well. Who knows when that crazy Leviathan decided to rape him? At the thought, Naruto felt shivers down his spine. Everywhere is not safe. Why the heck God hate him like that? Maybe because he has a power that could crush him like a bug? Bucho, you forget to inform Naruto-san that he will study in Kuo Academy from now on, right? Deduced Kiba. Rias decided to snuggle closer to Naruto, which made the later eyes twitch in annoyance. Oh yeah. I totally forgot about that. She turned her head to Naruto and said, Naruto, from now you are a student of Kuo Academy. Why the heck you didn't inform me earlier? Naruto deadpan looking down at his Oju-sama with apathetic blue eyes. I don't like school, so why should I do that? Rias narrowed her eyes and leaned in closer to Naruto and retort. Because I said so. You don't have a choice, Naruto. As a punishment, today you must carry me in your hands to school. Naruto face fault and refute. Why am I being punished again? Stop. Don't answer that. I already deducted that. Naruto put his finger to her lips just as Rias about to respond. Rias actually blushed a little, feeling his finger on her lips. Naruto turned to the others and said, now I want for everyone to go outside so we can change. Just as Issei was about to protest, Naruto added, don't worry, I will go to the bathroom to change. Oju-sama will change here. Rias pouted her lips, but she should expect that. If one day Naruto decided to change clothes in one room with her, or bathing with her, that will be the day the world end. Naruto also noticed that Asia stayed silent the whole time. And surely she stayed as close to Issei as possible. Maybe she actually felt something that others couldn't feel. After everyone go outside, Akino before exit actually wink at Naruto before leaving. Of course, Rias was not pleased by her gesture.
How did they find me
Scene change.
after all this
Kuo
time?
Academy.
Faye,
All the girls are blushing red, seeing a super hot blonde is carrying Rias Wanisama in his arms.
ashes.
Surely the blonde has deadpan expression all the time, but that still didn't make him less attractive. Rias herself was very satisfied. She embraced Naruto around the neck with both arms and watches the look of jealousy on some girl's face. And sure, behind them not so far, Issei is biting his shirt with tears of jealousy. But suddenly Naruto stopped as he felt two holy energies ahead of him. The energies were not that powerful, so it definitely not angel. Still, what the heck servants of church doing on the territory of a devil? That he will need to find out.
But we
Issei
cannot
just
stay
recently
here.
managed to get a contract with a seemingly human. The human requested him to spend one day in a week with him. In exchange he will make contract with Issei. That human has a hobby of fishing really late at night.
There was so much.
So Issei must often to return home very late. But he wasn't disappointed though, because Asia will always on his bed in her birthday suit, and sometime Akino-san. Issei looked a little down when he began to think about Rias Bucho. Since the day Naruto appeared, she didn't climb to his bed anymore.
You are not.
Sure, he knew that Naruto was Bucho's first friend, and they were really close. Still he didn't like it.
Mountain.
He noticed that Naruto is extremely strange though. He can't find any lust coming from him when he lied with a naked Rias on top of him. "What are you thinking about so much, huh, devil?" asked the human that he signed a contract with. It was an old man with short black hair and a yellow bang with cover his front.
Hey, that could be valuable.
The man also has a beard. His eyes were purple like that of fallen angels that he saw. Nothing actually," replied Issei and turned his head to the man.
I do not know.
"Is that so? If you want to talk then I will listen.
Did you kill him?
You helped me out a lot
I
from
did
dying
what had
of
to be
bored."
done.
After all, the man looked at Issei and smirked. "No, it's nothing really," Issei refute. He then looked out to the sky and wondered, will Bucho ever going to show him Harape anymore? Next day. Elsewhere in the city. Two figures were seen walking in a really large robes that cover their faces. Nothing can be seen except the lower part of their face and the mop of hair. One figure has a mop of blue hair that was seen under the hood. The other has chestnut hair, the rest was also hidden by the hood.
Never leave me
The
alone
one
again.
with blue hair
Right?
seems to carry something really big, and has a form of a sword wrapped in bandages.
You've had to kill people
"I am
before,
so
haven't you?
hungry," Zenobia-chan whined a figure with
We do
chestnut
what we
hair.
must to survive.
Animals
The
are
other
good.
figure sighed
They're
and
food.
said,
Draw
"It
there.
was our fault
They're
that we
supposed to be
forgot
dead.
to bring food with us.
People.
Now we must
trying to
find the
survive
nearest
too.
church to
Close
spend the
your
night
heart to
first."
On our
About
journey,
the
we will
food.
be attacked by all manner
A sound of
creatures.
stomach rumbling
Close your
interrupts
heart
her
to their
statement.
desperation. Close your
Gah.
heart to their suffering.
"I am so
Allow
hungry.
yourself to feel for them.
I can't stand it anymore," the figure with chestnut hair shouts out exasperatedly, and raised her hands up in frustration. "If you two are that hungry, then I may
this
as well
been here all
treat
this
you
time?
for a lunch," said a voice behind them. They were startled by the voice,
Why don't you help me up there?
because they couldn't
I can't
feel
even look.
whoever is behind them presence at all. When they turned to the direction of the voice, they saw a very attractive teenage boy with lazy eyes. The boy wears a high-collar white t-shirts with small yin yang symbol at the top corner on the right of his t-shirts and black pants that often was seen wore by Kung Fu Master. Naruto decided to sneak out of the class. Today. Surely he knows that he will get some punishments when Oju-sama find out, or even Sona Kaishu, but he already told Oju-sama that he didn't have any attention to go to school. After changing his clothes in Kamui Dimension, Naruto decided to go to Game District.
Made it.
But the two figures in front of him caught his attention because of their holy energies.
Yes, sir.
And based by their conversation, they are very hungry. So Naruto decided to help them out to find out what are they doing here in the territory of Rias Gremory. Hearing that immediately caused the chestnut figure to immediately appeared in front of Naruto and asked, "Really? You will treat us to a lunch?" Naruto's sweat dropped hearing her voice so excited like that. Guess this too were very hungry.
That hand
Why
look-
yeah.
and
I
all
just
three
can't
guys?
walk away when I see two
Mother
girls
said
need
Oda's
help.
disciples fill them with gifts and hang them where thieves
Yay.
can't reach them. That one
The
was pretty
figure with
old.
chestnut hair jumped up and down happily.
Worshipping the
She
gods?
then turned to Zenobia
Care
and
nothing for
stated,
them. Men should
"You
not
hear
go
that,
to monsters.
Zenobia? This hot boy is gonna treat us to
Father?
lunch."
Will we see others on the road?
The figure with
Yes.
blue hair just smiled slightly
No.
and nodded her
They'll
head.
try and rob us?
Possibly.
"Well, let's go then,"
Yes.
exclaimed Naruto.
Huh.
The two girls began to follow him. At some restaurant. After ordering some food, Naruto and the girls began to wait for their order. Seeing them still in their robes, Naruto proposed. "Maybe you two should get out of those robes because eating in them won't be so comfortable." We are fine. Thank you for concern, refute the girl with blue hair. They are still wearing hoods, by the way. At least, put down your hood then. Both of figures looked at each other, and nodded their head. When they put down their hood, Naruto slightly raised his eyebrows. These girls are fairly good looking. The one with blue hair has a short hairstyle, and has a green fringe on the right side of her hair. She also has dark yellow eyes. The one with chestnut color held her hair in twin tails. She also has big purple eyes that looked really innocent. Unlike her partner, whose look is more mature. The girls also checking out the boy in front of them. He has spiky yellow hair with the front bangs slightly cover his eyes, and the side bangs framing his face. He had a slight mundane look. That is strange, because as far as they know, males always ogle when there are beautiful females in front of them. Yet this boy seems indifferent about that fact. One more thing that made them curious is that they felt a slight holy energy coming from him. Does this boy is like them as well? When the food was brought to them, both girls began shove as much food to their throat as possible. Seeing that sight caused Naruto to sweat dropped. These two maybe didn't eat for a week to be this hungry. After they finished, both began to pay their stomach.
Wait for my
I feel full now, exclaimed the girl with chestnut twin tails. She then turned to Naruto with her big innocent eyes and prayed. Thank you for your kindness. May God bless you. Normally hearing that if Naruto was a devil then he will feel headache. But as an ultimate, things like curses and prayers did not affect him. It's nothing, really. I just help out the two girls in need, retort Naruto, and drinking his lemon tea. Still, you are the only one that decided to help us. I appreciate that, replied the girl with short blue hair. Well, let's introduce ourselves first, for start. I am Naruto. No family name. What about you two? I am Zenobia Quarta. Nice to meet you, Naruto-san. Zenobia bowed her head politely in greetings. My name is Irina Shido. It's a pleasure to meet you, Naruto-kun. Irina winked playfully at him. Zenobia decided to ask the question that was on her mind right away. I feel a bit of holy energy coming from your body, Naruto-san. Could you explain me why is it in you? Naruto felt a bit surprised. He has a bit of holy energy in him? That fact he heard for the first time. Sorry, Quarta-san. But I, myself, didn't know that it exists in me until you point that out. I see, replied Zenobia.
How was that? Did I help?
This boy didn't even aware that he has holy energy in
Whoever
him?
is not my focus should
That's
be yours,
strange.
but only when safe to do so.
Thank you once more for treating us, Naruto-san. But I think it's time we must leave.
Boy,
You can come to nearby church to visit us if you want though.
Get no settlement ahead.
yet not.
Yeah,
Giants.
I will be glad to see Naruto-kun anytime, exclaimed Irina energetically.
Connected, so sometimes I can feel
With
my way
that,
through
both
stuff I
girls
shouldn't.
stood up and left him alone there.
Look up there.
Naruto is still thinking about the new information that he recently found out about himself. There is holy energy in him. The question is, how did it appear in his body? He then looked at his watch and sighed. It's still so early, he may as well visit the game district to kill the time. That evening, Occult Research Club room. The atmosphere in the room was mix of rage, amusement, and even fear. Well, rage coming from Rias, she couldn't believe that annoying idiot decided to ditch school on the second day. She has been lectured by Sona to control her servants more strictly. Amusement is coming from Aquino. That Naruto-kun sure is amusing. He could rile up Bucho anytime he wants, not only that he decided to do whatever he wants. Fear is coming from Issei. Sensing Bucho's rage caused Issei tremble in fear. He was not foreign from female fury after all. Kaneko and Kiba were also in the room. Kaneko is reading manga while eating chocolate chips. Kiba, though, keeps silent. He just looked down to the ground in deep thought. Yesterday, when he accidentally noticed a holy sword on Issei's child photo, he started to recall his goal, why he exists. And then not long after that, he encountered the same crazy exorcist Freed. He is the only survivor of the Holy Sword Project. And he has devoted his life to destroy all fragments of Excalibur. That Naruto. How dare he ditch his school just right after he was registered to it yesterday? Rias shouted out furiously. But didn't Naruto-senpai already told you that he hated schools? Kaneko replied in monotone voice, while not taking her eyes from the manga. He still didn't have any right to ditch class. Do you how much I need to hear Sona lecture me about controlling my servant more strictly? Retort Rias while holding her temples. Era, perhaps Naruto-kun decided to hang out with other girls, perhaps he just wants to hide the hidden pervert in him? Aquino exclaimed with mischievous eyes. But he joke didn't work because Rias has a deadpan expression on her face. Iie zetai mori. It's about Naruto we are talking about. And he is such a prude. He sure as hell won't ever do something like that. Unknown to both though, Aquino actually was right. Forgot to mention Asia, she is keeping herself close to Issei as usual. Asia was confused about Naruto when she first met him. This fact only she noticed maybe because she was a former nun, but Naruto has a bit of holy energy on him. And she could see through the illusion that he put himself as a devil. Naruto is not a devil, that Asia was sure of. But then why did he need to hide that fact by pretending to be a devil? It seems Naruto-kun won't appear anytime soon, Bucho? Aquino looked out to the window, and the sky began darken. It seems so. I've forgotten to mention this, but yesterday I felt two humans with holy energy that entered our territory. Be careful out there, everyone. Rias warned her peerage and narrowed her eyes cautiously. That night, Issei's house. When Issei and Asia returned home, they immediately noticed two holy energies inside his house. Issei and Asia rushed to his house in hurry and worry. Unknown to them, Naruto has Kamui himself on top of Issei's roof and looked down as both of them run in the house. When he reached the living room, he heard a cute female laugh coming from the room. Issei slowly opened the door and saw two attractive girls wearing robes sitting opposite of his mother. The girl with chestnut hair immediately noticed Issei and exclaimed, "Long time no see, Issei-kun." Issei just blinked in confusion. Did he know this hottie? Don't you remember me? It's me. The girl is pointing at herself and smiles cutely. Issei still couldn't recall the girl, so his mother decides to refresh his memory by showing the photo album. She showed the same picture that Kiba has accidentally put his eyes on yesterday. Look here. This girl in the photo is Shido Irina-chan. Issei was surprised hearing that, because he actually thought that the girl in the photo with him is actually a boy, because of what she wore back then.
Let's hear it.
Ha!
Patch took objectives fast.
But
now they have to hold them.
that was all Issei could spell. She was such a tomboy back then, but now she has grown up to a real beauty, said his mother with a smile. Sorry to disappoint you, Hyoto-san. But I actually found someone more suitable for me than Issei-kun, Irina retort, while thinking about that mystery boy she met and treat both her and Zenovia to a lunch. That's disappointing. Issei's mother whined in slight grief. I really thought that you were a boy back then, exclaimed Issei. That actually surprised his mother. That's just rude, Issei. How could you dash? But Irina decided to interrupt her. It can't be helped, I look like a boy back then after all. Irina then narrowed her eyes slightly like she knew something. So many things have changed since we part ways, right? You can never tell how people will change. Zenovia though just glanced at both Asia and Zenovia with apathetic gaze. Not feeling anything dangerous, Naruto decided to Kamui back home. But when he arrived there, a very piss-off Rias was standing there and tapping her feet rapidly. Naruto began to sweat from nervousness, sure he knew what the result of his action will be, and that didn't change the fact that his Oju-sama is looking very scary right now. What do you have to say for yourself, Naruto? Rias asked with a chilling voice. Nothing. I already told you I don't like schools. You can't forces me to go there, retort Naruto calmly and lied down at the sofa. Do you know how much troubles I get from Sona, huh? Exclaimed Rias and putting her hands on her hips. Her eyes are squinting in displeasure. Hi, I won't ditch school anymore. School is such a pain, replied Naruto lazily, and looked up at the ceiling. Rias decided that it's enough nagging at Naruto for now. She sudden jumps on him and buries her face in his chest. Naruto looked down lazily at the top of her head and exclaimed, "When will you stop doing this, Oju-sama?" Rias looked up at him playfully and also answered his question with the other question. "When will you stop asking when I will stop doing this, huh, Naruto?" Naruto rolled his eyes and made a chi, then closed his eyes again. Rias decided to enjoy the moment for a while before she fall asleep. Next day, Occult Research Club. Zenovia and Irina decided to meet up with Rias Gremory to talk to her about their business. Everyone was present, except for Naruto. He is standing outside the room right now. No need to reveal himself as part of Rias' peerage when it's not necessary. I appreciate your cooperation. I am Zenovia. Zenovia introduced herself. I am Shido Irina, said Irina with her cute voice. Well, for what reason would servants of God desire to meet a devil? Wondered Rias and crossed her arms under her busy as well as crossed her legs. We are here to return the stolen 3 fragments of Excalibur that was stolen by fallen angels, explained Irina. Hearing that caused everyone from the peerage to gasp in surprise. Stolen? Repeated Issei.
Sector Alpha is ours.
The ones we have are this, the Holy Sword of Destruction, Excalibur of Destruction. Zenovia present them the huge sword that she carry along. And my Holy Sword of Mimicry, Excalibur Mimicry, continued Irina, winking, and showed a rope that wrapped around her left biceps. "So what do you want from us?" wondered Rias. "This matter is between us and fallen angels. We can't afford to deal with devils of this city," stated Zenobia with serious look. "You really thought that we would side with fallen angels to do something to the holy swords?" retort Rias, and her eyes became more seriously. Zenobia met her with the same gaze and replied, "Devils hated holy swords. You are in the same position as fallen angels." Rias felt piss off that can be seen through her eyes as they began to glow crimson. "If need, we will deal with you as well, Rias Gremory. It doesn't matter if you are the sister of one of Mao's," warned Zenobia with cold voice. "You are well informed. But I will at least say this. I will never side with a fallen angel," exclaimed Rias with certainty. "That is good to hear. I know that Mao's sister is not that foolish. We will be on the way now," said Zenobia. Then both she and Irina prepared to leave. Rias invited them to drink tea, but Zenobia declined and said that she has no intentions to befriend a devil. Zenobia then looked at the corner of her eyes at Asia. "Since the moment I stepped up in Hayato Issei's house, I felt a familiar presence." "Are you Asia Argento?" demands Zenobia, looking at Asia. "Hi," replied Asia with soft voice. "I never thought I'd see a witch here," exclaimed Zenobia with apathetic eyes. Asia's eyes widen in surprise at being called a witch again. "Oh, so you are the same ex-nun that was exiled for the ability of not healing devils, but fallen angels as well. Never imagined that you'd become a devil," added Irina. Asia is looking down to the ground in shame and distress. She couldn't justify herself because what they said is the truth. To think that a saint became a devil. "What a disgrace," said Zenobia disdainfully. "Team, shut the hell up. Issei shouted out in irritation. He can't let those two insult Asia anymore. Issei Senpai Kaneko stopped him before her could charge at those two. He nearly forget that if he did things carelessly, then there will be a war between church and devils. Do you still believe in our God?" Zenobia asked Asia, while still looking at her with apathetic eyes. "Zenobia, she is a devil, you know," remind Irina. Still, some heretics feel some guilt and retain a little of their faith. I can sense that from her. Really? Asia could only look down to the ground in distress. "Asia-san, do you still believe in the Lord, even though you're a devil?" Irina asked Asia innocently. I just can't forget him. I believe in him my whole life," countered Asia meekly. "In that case, let us kill you now. I am sure God will forgive you for your sins," exclaimed Zenobia, shocking everyone. Rias has enough and was just about to threaten the blue-haired girl that she won't let anyone belittle her servants. "Now, that's just not nice at all, Zenobia-san. After I treated you two to a lunch, you insult my friend like that." Naruto stepped in the room, which startles everyone because none of them felt his presence. Zenobia and Irina were surprised to see Naruto appeared. Does that mean that he is also the servant of Rias Gremory? But that's just absurd if that is true. That why the heck is there a holy energy in him? He is a devil, right? "Naruto-san, I am surprised to see you here," replied Zenobia calmly, looking at Naruto.
Combat area, or you will be extracted from the
"Naruto
battle.
kun hidoyo." You deceive us by hiding your devil energy. And I thought we will be a perfect couple, whined Irina, and holding her heart with fake tears. Hearing some stares drilling at him, Naruto started to sweat a little. Damn that girl and her mouth. Era, it seems I was right after all, Bucho exclaimed Akino teasingly. Rias just drilled him with a deadpan gaze. Issei ignored all that. He won't forgive that Bluenet for insulting Asia like that. You two are just fools that blindly follow the rules of the church. Someone like you can't possibly understood Asia's kindness and sufferings. Issei glares daggers at Zenobia and clutched his fist tightly. Naruto glanced at Issei and saw he is indeed furious right now. It will be a perfect chance to see what Seker Yutai is capable of, and to see how strong Irina and Zenobia are. Then how about a friendly spar, ahem? Naruto proposed while crossing his hands. Naruto, exclaimed Rias at such idea. She didn't need for Issei to get hurt by fighting holy sword wielders. It's fine with me. That statement coming from Kiba. He is leaning to the door with crossed hands and glares slightly at both saint girls. It felt like you just read my mind, Naruto-san. And who are you supposed to be? Zenobia turned to face Kiba. Your senpai, Kiba replied plainly. Yuto, exclaimed Rias. Senpai, repeated Zenobia and narrowed her eyes slightly. I am the only survivor of Holy Sword Project, explained Yuto calmly. Hearing that, Naruto narrowed his eyes a bit. So he was also a victim of the experiments in humans. We've something in common now, Kiba-san.
Objective secure.
Rias looked sternly at Naruto. Naruto glanced back at her, and sent her a silent message with his eyes. If things goes too far, then I will step up. With that, both Saints and Rias Knight and Pawn went outside for the spar. The rest followed them to observe the spar. Asia looked slightly guilty, because this fight happens because of her. Then she glanced at Naruto from the corner of her eyes. She still felt the same holy energy coming from him. How is that possible? A devil can't have holy energy in him. But Naruto didn't feel like a devil either. For some reason unknown, only she could sense that. Naruto is hiding himself as a devil in the eyes of Bucho and the others. Asia knows one thing for sure. Naruto is not a devil, nor he is fallen angel. Could Naruto be a spying angel? No, that's absurd as well. Just who is Naruto really? Asia really wants to find the answer to that question.